Is that good enough? I think so. Are we live on that one? Is that working? I hope it is. Should be working. That's what it says it's doing. How are you listening to me? Here, yes. Testing, test. Too loud. You know what? Let's hope it works. It says it's working, so I can only believe what I see, right? Notes up. Recorder up. Recording. Right? Record level. Record level. There. Well, we'll see how that works. Well, I'm not sure what to say here. Humidity and connection problems. The knife sharpener actually sings. Compounds now purified from bugs and other insects. And it's a new month, August already. Can you believe it? Monday, August 1st, 2022. I'm Steven Sersky. Hope you folks are doing well. Back to the live stream, and I'm trying to actually use my external microphone to record this one. So hopefully the audio will be a little bit better, but the video is still using my MacBook camera, which I know is just terrible resolution, 720p. This thing's a couple of years old already, which means the technology is a bit older than that as well. Now, luckily, I have upgraded some things, so we'll see how I can integrate those into my workflow. It has not been cooperating with me, so I'm not very happy with it at the moment, but I will get that hopefully done within the next couple of days or so. So, yeah, and the humidity. Oof, I don't know about you guys living in Beijing, whether you're enjoying this or not, but it's one of these humidities that's like it's the lethargic humidity wherein, wow, like it's everything is sticky all the time. Today was especially bad. This weekend wasn't so bad, but this today was really bad. And I don't know if that's causing problems with the connection issues or what, but my internet and my assisted connection device have not been working very well, and it's been driving me up the wall, interfering with my productivity today. I'm not going to lie. I was able to update my website, stevensersky.com, where you can find that. I updated the audio blog pages and everything, but and then it put me back because now I couldn't get I couldn't do all the other things I wanted to get done today since I was dealing with this issue, like these just fighting the internet the entire day basically, which makes me wonder what's going on. What big event is going on that isn't being publicized just yet? I mean, a couple of weeks ago, or a month and a half ago, when I was complaining about the internet connections, turns out it was the leader's birthday. Okay, that kind of makes sense. And then June 4th is a sensitive time around this country, and there are quite a few dates that sort of spring into some computer memory, that all of a sudden just get the connections get distorted, which is disappointing because I don't know how other people deal with this. Like, I don't know if they have like 17,000 connections or what they are doing, but mine it has been hideous all week. Like, it's still, again, I'm sure, I hope they're not targeting me. But I mean, is it everybody in the compound? I don't know. Like, I don't really know anybody else who lives here anymore, who I'd be able to actually talk tech with. Like, most people are just like, no, I don't know. I just spend all my time on my cell phone. I'm like, okay, so how was your cell phone connection? Was it good? Your assisted connection device, is that working well as well? I mean, these are the things I'd like to know. But anyway, knife sharpener. I forgot to mention this on Friday, but I actually saw him up close and personal. I mentioned before that I think there's a couple of them that walk around the neighborhood and sing their little song. So I captured some of it on my cell phone after I did my NAT test, nucleic acid test, and I was actually surprised he was singing it on Friday. And I guess I'm not sure if he records it right then and there, or if he has a recording that's built into the megaphone that he has. Basically, my question is, does he have to sing it and create the recording every day, or does sometimes he's like, feeling good, going to sing some songs, try, use the personal voice, personal attention, personal feel, personal touch to get people's attention. And then when he's riding his bike, because I saw him later, he was singing when he was sitting in one place, but when he started moving from one location to another, that's when he was using the megaphone or the speaker system to broadcast his message. Now, again, I don't know what he's saying at all, to tell you the truth. I kind of have the intonation, but I don't have the actual words. No clue, nothing at all. This weekend also featured a good old purge, an insect purge. They do this, I think it's twice a year or 3 times a year, where they get this bucket, this drum of liquid pesticide or insecticide, and they get the little masks on, surgical masks, same ones that protect them from the virus and everything else bad, even though all of them smoke. And they go douse the trees and brushes and bushes and everything with this white liquid. And it's the last time I did power through, I had on Friday, I ran outside of my compound because I was like, I'm not running through that again. I did do it one time and my lungs hurt after. I'm like, okay, we're not doing that again. Bad idea. Yeah, actually, this is a very good point to make. Of all the things that I do to be all nice and healthy and everything, like eating vegetables and working out, it's something like that. It's like, yeah, then he lived in Beijing for 10 years or 8 years or 7 years, whatever. He died of lung cancer. Pay. Of course, I don't want to, but, he was outside, and yeah, you're not supposed to run outside when there's coal dust in the air. Go figure, or whatever other dirt and gunk is floating around in the air. Beijing's air, like even like Chinese people say, yeah, it's terrible air. Like, it's not the best. It's gotten a lot better in the last couple of years. And there are certainly worse cities, definitely worse cities than Beijing. But like Beijing, Tianjin, they've cleaned it up quite a bit, mostly because they've moved the factory so far away from the city that it doesn't really affect it as much anymore. And they also moved to natural gas in the winter. So that does help clean the air a little bit. But yeah, so they were spraying all weekend. You could smell it. It's like it's a little sour smell. It's not like a sour apple smell, but it's like you can. It's like bug spray. You smell bug spray, but it's not like it's not your gentle bug spray. It's like you walk by and go, I got to get out of here. I don't know what that is, but it doesn't smell skunky. There we go. It'd be more skunky than anything else. Not sour. It'd be skunky. But that's yeah. So that had me running outside the compound. Did manage to go for a bike ride on Saturday morning as well. So that was good. Another hour or so. Got the the bike time lapse. Actually, my battery died halfway through, so not the whole thing. But was surprised actually that there is. If I go north if I go to the 4th Ring Road, I go north, and there's a road that basically heads to Tongzhou, and that road is made with a bicycle path, and it's just follows the highway all the way through. Perfect for cycling. Like, I cycled that one. I was a lot less tired and everything, and a lot less bug spattered as well. It was a very nice ride, to tell you the truth. Very easy. Like, I got halfway there. I was like, well, not halfway to Tongzhou. I got 5 miles into my bike ride. I'm like, okay, I got to turn back because of work. And then it was just very easy. So it's all nice and graded and everything. So I might try that again. Maybe tomorrow morning. We'll see. So, but new month, August. Welcome. August 1st already, 2022. This weekend, typically, if I was back in Winnipeg or Manitoba, if I was back in Canada, I would actually be up in Dauphin, or it's Monday. We would be back home by now. Actually, when we had paper routes, I think that was sort of our one of the days off, sort of, that we got every now and then, sort of thing. But We would go up to Dauphin for the Canadian National Ukrainian Festival, which I imagine is very um, heated this year because of the goings on, the Russian invasion of Ukraine, of the homeland. They did live stream it, I think. Tell you the truth, I was seeing pictures of it on Facebook, but I wasn't paying attention to it too much. They have grandstands, like their specialty is that they have grandstands in the afternoon. I don't know why they have it like 2 p.m. It gets like the hottest part of the day. They have these grandstands, so it's kind of yeah. I don't know why they don't push it a bit later, but that's because they have an evening grandstand like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. And that's one that performance is highlighted on Saturday evening is like the big gala sort of thing, like the big production wherein the Kozakia. So they actually have a bunch of riders and dancers, like Ukrainian dancers, trained. There's a the Kozakia, this group that has a bunch of horses. I mean, they're all local farmers, right? But and all of Ukrainian descent, or actually, there's some other immigrants as well. Anyone who can ride a horse, basically. And they do this whole thing where they recreate the entrance of the Kozakia, and they fire off a cannon and everything. So it's a big to do actually on Saturday evenings. If you ever get a chance to go up to the Dauphin Festival, I would say it's actually the premier Ukrainian national Ukrainian festival throughout Canada. I mean, even bigger than the one that Toronto tries to put on, or even further out west into like near Vegreville or everything. But Dauphins, I think, is probably the one that goes quite a bit, like goes out of its way to make it a big production. It's the same festival site as Country Fest, which is also another huge music festival that Dauphin hosts as well. So it's yeah, they put on a big to do. And this year, of all things, like this is one of those years where I would actually say it's one of the best years to be in Winnipeg, because not only does Dauphin have the Ukrainian festival that there for that the whole week and for the civic holiday weekend, but then you can go to National Riding Park, and then you could also this week there's also Folklorama kicks off, and I have never seen this anywhere else in any city that I've been to. There must be something somewhere else, but Winnipeg, if there's one thing about the city that it can lay claim to, it's a celebration of all the cultures and the peoples that live there. And this Folklorama, it's a 2 week affair. And every week the pavilions change. So each culture or each community that wants to put on a pavilion has a pavilion on one of the weeks. This year, the Ukrainian pavilion, Lviv, because there's two Ukrainian pavilions. There's the Lviv, the Western Ukrainian, and then there's a Kiev pavilion, which I'm not sure if is going on, because that one was sort of always referred to as the communist pavilion. So we never went to that one. We went to the Western Ukrainian one, and those would always be on alternate weeks, so it was never the same week at all. But Folklorama, one of the, I think, greatest demonstrations and celebrations of the cultures and the peoples and the languages that are available in Winnipeg itself. I think 36 pavilions or something. And I mean, they're huge. I mean, we're not talking like, a little festival tent or anything like that. We're talking like they rent out halls dedicated to this stuff. I mean, like the ones that I wrote down here, first of all, I don't think I've ever been to the Chinese one, to tell you the truth. don't think like, any of them, because there's probably two or three of them, but never went to any of those. The Greek pavilion was always a big deal, and great food every time. That's where I always have the baklava or the what's that thing? Where the wrap, the Greek wrap. You know the one I'm talking about, and I'm missing the word right now. Anyway, fantastic food at the Greek pavilion. Italian pavilion was great. Ukrainian pavilion was always sold out as well, especially going into the weekend performances where there was like groups like Rusalka or Husli, like all the big names of the Ukrainian community in Winnipeg. They would be performing on those nights. So the other ones that were huge, I mean, the Indian Pavilion, massive. Like they would just rent out this like hall, and the Jews, they had their own center. They would like it's the Jewish center, and they would just hold it there every time. Massive deal. So the great thing about it was that it would have the food. So like each pavilion, they would have the food available to eat. You some like local. You have some items from the country that literally one of the immigrants brought over with them like the week before, something like that. So that's like one of the times where you could actually find out where these shops were. It's like, hey, where are you located? Oh, we're on Isabel Street or whatever. You're like, really? That's where you are? Because it's not like I mean, the supermarkets will stock some quote unquote ethnic foods. But then if you want the real stuff, like in the real desserts and things like that, you'd have to go to these actual little stores that you had to know where they were in order to actually source those products. But So that's one thing they had. They'd have the music, and then of course they'd have all the cult, like the culture and the tradition stuff. They'd have the explanations of like why some things are like this, some introduction to the language, the traditional clothing, of course, and then a lot of dancing as well. And some of it was a lot of like just making sure that the kids, like that the next generation was partaking in it because it was a milestone in their not just their lives but their summer and in their child rearing, that you'd want your kid to actually take part in something like this because it meant that the tradition lived on and that there was a purpose to it. There was a performance aspect to learning some of these things. So yeah, that was great. If you ever are in Winnipeg in the month of August, make sure you go during the time of Folkma and you catch a few of those shows as well. Matter of fact, those 2 weeks, I mean, you could probably fill up your time pretty quickly with those. And some of them take place during the day. A lot of them take place at night. So you can do all your touristy stuff during the day and then take part in some of the other cultural offerings during the evening. Chinese. So I've been working on these flashcards, and my latest one has been this country names, which I don't know if you've tried to learn your country names. For those of you studying Chinese, they are kind of intuitive. Like they sound the way that they should sound using the characters that are sort of, they defer to the good side of things. Like they don't use any characters that would be misconstrued as being that would have a different interpretation. They don't have anything that has a dual, like a good connotation and a bad connotation. It's always the positive character, positive connotation character. And so that combined with the sound component, I mean, imagine trying to construct the names for different countries, right? I don't know when these were all established. I'm not sure how it's established. I'm sure I'd actually be kind of interested to know how, like the whatever society of Chinese naming people, how they come up with these names and how they sort of the criteria that they have to meet and stuff like that. It'd be kind of neat to learn a little bit more about that. But I've been going through it, and of all the I mean, no wonder. I mean, sometimes people like, don't know what I'm saying because the characters and the phone, like the sounds of them. I mean, I understand there's sounds that have different characters or different tones, but I'm thinking this character and the sound is that character. I'm going, wow. When you look at the country names, it becomes even more clear just how much you have to learn the sound component of every character, which sounds very odd. And I'm sure people who are studying Chinese going, people who are not studying Chinese going, what is he talking about? Basically, I'm studying the country names. It's intuitive if you know how Chinese sounds, like the phonemes of the Chinese language, and sort of how they defer to the positive connotation of the meaning of these characters. But it doesn't make it any easier to learn them. So that's my big thing. I've been going through that a lot, in addition to my HSK characters and like the sets, the series of Anki Droid flashcard sets that I have that are taking up my time these days. Right. I did work on Saturday, so wasn't too much time. I wanted to get through more of the podcast. It looks like I'll have to get through that probably tomorrow. I can have a little bit more of a set. I do have it set up properly, but given that Saturday, since this internet thing has been busting my balls, I'll tell you, it's been a pain in the ass to try to update these sites and access things. So I did spend most of the weekend updating the website, and this is where I kind of think it'd be nice if I could just send someone like a zip file and then they could deal with it. That sounds nice. I'm not going to lie. I'll keep looking. We'll see how it goes. All right, folks, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Hope your weekend went well and that your long weekend in Canada is going well. Stay safe out there. Have fun at Folklorama and just try to stay cool here in Beijing. Show notes, tracks, and vids up on my website, stevensersky.com. And yes, I'm going ahead with August animation. So look forward to that. Although I'll tell you, I might have to start from the bottom, which means drawing the bean, which I'll hopefully have ready sometime within the next couple hours. Okay, folks, thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Have a good one. We will talk again. Bye-bye. August 2022. B. Saved. Bye.